Hey guys, what's up? After I won the ICS Rio playing the Snake Eyes Kashira, I uploaded into my YouTube some videos showing up some combos that I created and some combos that I think it's important to have in your Snake Eyes. Now I'm gonna do the same, but in a more complete version of the Snake Eyes combo you need to know. I think this is very good for the next national season and also for ICS Indianapolis. So I hope you all enjoy this video, I hope you all can learn some combos and some way to play around interactions, and if you think you are missing any way to play or any combos, just leave down below in the comments and I can tell you guys how I would play this line. And especially besides that, I gotta say, there is no lines here showing up the Jet Synchron. I think this card is terrible, I think this card should not be used right now, especially after the release of Snake Eyes Star, a card that gives you the opportunity to make the Hope Harbinger lines, and I think those lines are way better than Jet Synchron, just because the Snake Eyes Star by itself helps you to do your own plays, but also helps you to play around hand traps, and having the Hope Harbinger line is way more important than having a break with the Jet Synchron, because the Jet Synchron line is decent, of course, it's very good to go for Dispatch or to go for Herald, but this line is just good if you open with an insane hand, like with 2 cards combination and your opponent doesn't have any hand trap. And at this point, if you are going for a full combo with 2 cards combination, you already won the game. And now, playing the Hope Harbinger line, you definitely don't need to play the Jet Synchro. Well, with that being said, let's proceed with the video. I'm gonna show you guys today is the Snake Eye Ash line that is gonna be very updated by the use of Star Snake Eye. This card is very important for the strategy, and I think it's gonna make your combo way better than the combo that you can make if you are respecting Nibiru. The downside of this combo is that it's very weak for Nibiru, but it's still fair to do so. Normal summon Snake Eye Ash and you go for the effect, adding Snake Eye Poplar. Snake Eye Poplar effect adds itself to your hand, and you can add the Divine Temple that's gonna be activated, and you're gonna put face up a Snake Eye Star. At this point you can go for Snake Eye Ash, pitching them both to summon a copy of Snake Eye Oak, and the effect of Snake Eye Oak is gonna summon back Snake Eye Ash. Now Snake Eye Oak effect send itself plus Poplar to summon a Flamberge, and Poplar effect is gonna put into your Spell Trap Zone a copy of Star Snake Eye. Now you can link them both to make an IP Masquerena, and then you can use your Flamberge effect to summon back the Snake Eye Ash and the Snake Eye Oak that were previously in your graveyard. Now you're gonna link these two into a Promethean Princess, and the Promethean Princess is gonna reborn your Flamberge. This Flamberge is gonna use its effect to put the IP Masquerena into your Spell Trap Zone. And now, the line you can make is like, instead of going for Raging Phoenix and Zelantes here, you can link these two to make like any link 2. It could be Pit Knight Early, it could be Hita, it could be Nightmare Phoenix, any link 2, doesn't matter how. At this point you go for the Star Snake Eye, putting the Snake Eye Oak into your Spell Trap Zone. And since Snake Eye Star is a spellcaster, you can link them both to go for Celine. And the Celine effect gains 3 counters because you have 1, 2, and 3 spells face up, and lose 3 counters to summon back the Snake Eye Star. At this point you're gonna just link them out to make a Palooza. And this is the very important line. But if you wanna respect Nibiru, we can make another kind of line. Now let's show you guys the line where you can make with Snake Eye Ash if you are trying to play around Nibiru. You go with the normal summon of Snake Eye Ash effect, adds to your hand Snake Eye Poplar, which will by its own effect summon itself. Effect of Snake Eye Poplar are going to add to your hand a copy of Divine Temple that's gonna be activated to put into the Spell Trap Zone your Snake Eye Oak. At this point you're gonna use Snake Eye Ash plus Oak to summon Flamberge from your deck, and then you're gonna link them away to summon IP Masquerena. With this you're gonna use Chainlink 1 Flamberge to summon back these 2, and Chainlink 2 Poplar to put your Flamberge into your Spell Trap Zone. At this point, if your opponent Nibiru's you can just summon back your Flamberge and do the Flamberge effect to put the IP Masquerena into the Spell Trap Zone, and then you have the perfect follow-up to continue your play. But let's talk on bottom line where he doesn't have any kind of Nibiru. Your Snake Eye Oak is gonna summon back your Poplar, and here Snake Eye Oak plus Poplar are gonna be used to make Flamberge. Then you can link Snake Eye Ash and IP Masquerena into Promethean Princess, Flamberge effect summons back the IP Masquerena, puts back the IP Masquerena into the spell trap zone, and then the Promethean Princess summons anything back, just because on this point you can make them going into a Zealand Raging Phoenix, and the Raging Phoenix can go for a Zealantis. Zealantis can put itself back into the middle zone, and then if you Promethean Princess on the middle of the combo, you have this battle protection of Zealantis plus Promethean. Okay, but now, let's say you are gonna make a more aggressive play, and you don't wanna go for the IP Masquerena line, for example. Instead of going for IP Masquerena, you could have made a Pit Knight early on this link summon of 2 monsters. And then from now on, what I'm gonna show you guys is a possible line that you can make. Just link them away to summon the Promethean Princess, and then the Promethean Princess just summons back the Snake Eye Ash, for example. At this point, you use Snake Eye Oak, linking them both, to summon a Flamberge out of your deck. And then you can use Poplar plus Snake Eye Ash to summon the IP Masquerena, and then the Flamberge is gonna put into the spell trap zone your copy of Pit Knight early, because then if your opponent summons anything, you can go for the Pit Knight summon itself from the field spell effect, and then at this point, if you wanna have a quick negate, you can just use IP Masquerena effect, or you can use the Flamberge effect to summon anything, and then you chain the Pit Knight and makes a negate. This is a very interesting line that you can get if you are playing the Pit Knight in your deck. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys a line playing Snake Eye Ash, Jabblestar, and that's discard. This line is very, very good if you are playing the number 38 Hope Harbinger. And as I explained in the preview of this video, I think there is no reason to not be playing the Hope Harbinger line right now. Yes, you can play Jet Synchron, but I still don't think Jet Synchron is worth to play, because it's not like the card is bad, but the Snake Eye Jabblestar is so important, and she's kind of bricky. So if you're gonna play a brick that makes your ceiling higher, it's better to play Jabblestar Snake Eyes instead of Jet Synchron, a card that's gonna be dead a lot of times when you draw them and doesn't give you more resilience to your combos by engine. Like, your combos are way better playing the Snake Eye Jabblestar. The combos you're gonna use the Jet Synchron, they are like 1 out of a million, because you are getting hand trapped way more often than your full combo are going through. So I don't think it's worth to play Jet Synchron, and I think it's very important to play Hope Harbinger. But let's pretend you are playing a matchup like Branded, a matchup like Flanders, and you're gonna be able to make your full combo. We start with normal summon of Snake Eye Ash, effect adds Poplar to your hand. Poplar effect summons itself and it's gonna add to your hand a copy of Divine Temple. Divine Temple activates and puts into your spell trap zone your Jabblestar Snake Eye. At this point, you're gonna use your Jabblestar pitching your random card in your hand, and that's gonna set for your spell trap zone your original Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes. At this point, we're gonna link this 3 into Selene, and that's gonna be a Chainlink 1 Selene effect to gain counters, and Chainlink 2 Poplar to put itself into the spell and trap zone. And then we're gonna put Poplar in the spell trap zone, and we have 1, 2, 3 face-up spell cards. And then we're gonna summon back our Jabblestar Snake Eyes, and we're gonna link them to make a 2 counters Appaloosa. So for the rest of this turn, our combo is protected by hand traps, and we can basically proceed to full combo. Now we're gonna activate the original Sinful Spoil of pitching Poplar, and that's gonna summon a Snake Eye Oak from our deck. Snake Eye Oak effect is gonna summon from your graveyard a copy of Snake Eye Ash. And here you're gonna use your Jabblestar Snake Eyes effect, summon itself, and putting your Poplar into your spell trap zone. Snake Eye Ash or Snake Eye Oak effect doesn't really matter, but please keep track of which effect did you activated. You're gonna send them to the graveyard to summon your copy of Flamberge. And now with Flamberge and Snake Eye Oak, you're gonna link these 2 to summon a copy of IP Masquerena. And now you're gonna use your Flamberge effect, and that Flamberge is gonna summon the one that did not activate the effect yet. So if we used Snake Eye Ash to summon Flamberge, we summon back the Oak. And then we also summon Poplar. Here, we're gonna use both Poplar and IP Masquerena to summon the Promethean Princess. And the Promethean Princess is gonna activate its effect to summon your Flamberge. Flamberge effect is gonna put IP Masquerena into your spell trap zone, and then Snake Eye Oak effect is gonna send itself plus Promethean Princess to summon your second copy of Snake Eyes Flamberge out of your deck. Here you're gonna use Flamberge and the Jabelstar Snake Eyes to summon your copy of Hope Harbinger, and that's gonna be your end board. You have 2 negates Apollousa, you have Flamberge to summon IP Masquerena, you have Hope Harbinger to negate any spell, you can negate Branded Fusion, you can negate Plunderous cards, and you have Promethean Princess in the case your opponent special summons anything. This line is especially more important if you are playing against, for example, board breakers decks. That's gonna be a very popular approach for the rest of this format. Okay, so for this combo you just have to open your Snake Eye Ash and any of the spells that you can add of Poplar. You can open with the Divine Temple or you can open with the original Sinful Spoil. You're gonna start with Snake Eye Ash effect, that's gonna add from your deck to your hand a copy of Poplar. Poplar effect is gonna add from your deck to your hand a copy of original Sinful Spoils, and then you activate your Divine Temple, putting face up your copy of Jabelstar. Snake Eye Ash effect, pitching them both to summon from your deck a copy of Flamberge, and you're gonna link these two into a IP Masquerena. You're gonna use Flamberge effect and Poplar effect to put back your Jabelstar Snake Eyes into your Spell Trap zone. Now you're gonna summon Poplar and Snake Eye Ash, and you're gonna use your Poplar and your IP Masquerena to summon a copy of your Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess effect is gonna summon from your graveyard a copy of Flamberge, and Flamberge is gonna put into your Spell Trap zone a copy of IP Masquerena. Now you're gonna use your Jabelstar Snake Eyes effect, summon itself and putting the Poplar back to the Spell Trap zone. And here, for example, we can go for original Sinful Spoil, pitching Poplar, summoning back your Snake Eye Oak effect, summoning back Poplar, and we go for this line because, like, at this point, if your opponent has Nibiru, he would already have used it. So we can go for a more I'll win kind of line. So let's link away Poplar and Promethean Princess to make any link 2 like Nightmare Phoenix. Now we're gonna use the Nightmare Phoenix and the Jabelstar Snake Eye to summon Selene. Selene is gonna gain some counters because we already have 1, 2, 3 spells, and it's gonna summon from your graveyard your copy of Jabelstar Snake Eye. Here we're gonna link Selene and Snake Eye Ash into a copy of Apollousa, and we're gonna use your Snake Eye Oak effect, pitching itself plus Divine Temple to summon from your deck your second copy of Flamberge. Now, with your Jabelstar Snake Eye and your Flamberge, you can go and make your Hope Harbinger. This is basically the same combo, but you don't end with your field spell face up. And this is a combo where you open with Snake Eye Ash, and a kind that could be in another line is kind of a brick. This is a way to end in your Hope Harbinger line. And okay, let's pretend your only line to play with Jabelstar, and we're gonna start with Jabelstar, pitching any card from your hand. That's gonna set our original Sinful Spoils. We're gonna activate original Sinful Spoils, pitching Jabelstar, and that's gonna summon Snake Eye Ash. Snake Eye Ash effect adds Poplar, Poplar adds and summons itself, Poplar effect adds Divine Temple, that's gonna be put face up, and put face up a Jabelstar Snake Eye. And then here, Snake Eye Ash effect, pitching itself plus the Snake Eye Jabelstar, summons Oak. Oak summons back Snake Eye Ash, and Oak effect, pitching itself and Snake Eye Ash to summon Flamberge. Now we're gonna link these two to make a copy of IP Masquerena, and we have Chain Link 1 Flamberge, Chain Link 2 of Snake Eyes Poplar, putting face up or copy of Jabelstar Snake Eyes. And this is gonna summon them back. We're gonna link these two into a Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess effect is gonna summon back your Flamberge. Flamberge effect is gonna put your IP Masquerena into your Spell Trap zone. And here is the same line. We can go for example, Snake Eye Oak effect. We can go link Snake Eye Oak plus Promethean Princess to end the link to fire. And then we go for the Jabelstar Snake Eyes, putting the Snake Eye Oak into the Spell Trap zone. And then we can make Selene, and Selene can go for Apollousa. This is not a very complicated line. But if you have any hand trap that you can normal summon, for example, if you have Undrawn Lock Bird, instead of going for Selene, you can just go for a 3 material Apollousa, for example. That's another possibility that is like you can make it. You don't necessarily need to go for your Selene. I think it's fair to note this out. And what if your hand is just Snake Eyes Poplar? What I should do here, I think at this point you have to ignore hand traps. You have to go for the higher ceiling combos, and I think the way to do this is normal summon Poplar effect. Poplar effect is gonna add from your deck to your hand a copy of original Sinful Spoil. Here you can activate this original Sinful Spoil, put Poplar, and then you get this back. But I think it's also fair to go for Relinquished Anima at this point. An Anima Poplar effect, you're gonna put itself into the Spell Trap zone, and now you're gonna use your original Sinful Spoil, pitching Poplar. This is gonna summon from your deck. You can summon Snake Eye Ash, and Snake Eye Ash adds another copy of Poplar, but I think this line is like very weak because you kill your both Poplars. And then a line you can also go is to summon from your deck a copy of Snake Eye Oak. Snake Eye Oak effect is gonna summon from your graveyard a copy of Snake Eye Poplar. Here you can use your Snake Eye Oak sending itself plus Relinquished Anima to summon from your deck a copy of Flamberge. And then you can link these two into IP Masquerena and use the Flamberge effect to summon back from your graveyard a copy of Oak and a copy of Poplar. Then you can link these two into a Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess effect is gonna summon Flamberge, and this Flamberge is gonna put the IP Masquerena into the Spell Trap zone. And then you can use these two into a Raging Phoenix plus Zelantis, and then you can end on this board with only one Poplar being played. Okay, so the combo I'm gonna show now, it's a combo that I'm very proud of because it's a combo I created. When I was trying my deck for ICS Rio, I started looking all the possible lines you could get to getting into your Hope Harbinger, and then I figured out this line of Pressured Planet and Jabal Star. So let's proceed. We start with the Pressured Planet to add your Unicorn. Unicorn special summons itself and adds Birth. You're gonna normal summon Jabal Star because it's a level 7, and Birth lets you normal summon any level 7. That's gonna set you a original Sinful Spoil. Now we're gonna use this two into Dracosac. Dracosac effect pitching your Unicorn Kashira, and this is gonna summon 2 tokens to your field. The 2 tokens are gonna be used to make an IP Masquerena, and the Birth is gonna be used to summon a Unicorn. Now we're gonna link them all to summon an Apollousa with 3 counters, and we're gonna activate the original Sinful Spoil pitching your field spell. Now that's gonna summon Snake Eye Ash. Snake Eye Ash effect adds Poplar. Poplar summons itself. Poplar adds Divine Temple. Divine Temple effect putting face up a copy of Snake Eye Jabal Star. Snake Eye Ash effect pitching itself and the Snake Eye Jabal Star to summon Snake Eye Oak. Snake Eye Oak summons back Snake Eye Ash. And here we're gonna make a Relinquished Anima to put in the Poplar effect, and the Poplar effect is gonna put into your Spell Trap zone a copy of Jabal Star Snake Eyes. Here we can basically go for anything, but we can go for the Jabal Star Snake Eyes effect, putting face up into your Spell Trap zone a copy of Poplar, and Snake Eye Oak effect sending Poplar plus itself to summon a Flamberge. Here this Flamberge can put into your Spell Trap zone a copy of IP Masquerena, and you can link them all to summon from your extra deck a copy of Promethean Princess. This is gonna trigger your Flamberge effect, it's gonna summon 2 monsters back from your graveyard. And here you can just go for the Promethean Princess. The Promethean Princess is gonna summon your Flamberge, and now you can use both Promethean Princess and your Snake Eye Oak to summon Pit Knight early. And then you can do this and go for the Hope Harbinger line. Here, so you have your Pit Knight, your field spell, when a monster gets summoned, you can summon IP Masquerena, and now Pit Knight is a quick effect negation because just has Apollousa or IP to activate its effect, and you can negate and turn the attack of anything to 0. You still have your Promethean Princess, and if you link away your Hope Harbinger, you can still get able to summon this deck. You could also, for example, summon Poplar here instead of the Snake Eye Ash, and then you could summon these 2 back if you link off them all. But this is a very important line because if you have your Jabal Star and Unicorn, this line to go for the Dracosac is very important and very safe into range traps. And then you can make this full board only with these 2 cards. I'm going to show you guys another line of play that's gonna be very important using the Kashira field spell and the Snake Eye Ash, but just if you are willing to ignore Nibiru. We're gonna start with the Kashira field spell that's gonna add us a Kashira Unicorn. Unicorn is gonna summon itself and add from your deck to your hand a copy of Kashira Birth. We're gonna normal summon Snake Eye Ash effect, that's gonna add Poplar. Poplar effect adds itself and summons itself to add Divine Temple, and now we're gonna make Snake Eye Ash effect pitching itself plus the Pressured Planet. That's gonna summon from your deck Snake Eye Oak. Snake Eye Oak effect is gonna summon back a copy of Snake Eye Ash. Now we're gonna activate the Divine Temple, and that's gonna put face up into your Spell Trap zone a copy of Snake Eye Jabal Star. Here we're gonna use your Snake Eye Oak effect, pitching itself plus Jabal Star, to summon from your deck a copy of Flamberge. And this Flamberge and this Poplar are gonna turn into IP Masquerena. We're gonna use both Poplar and Flamberge effects, that's gonna summon themselves back, and that's gonna put into your Spell Trap zone your copy of Jabal Star Snake Eye. Here, we're gonna use your Unicorn and your IP Masquerena to summon a copy of Promethean Princess, and this is gonna use its effect to summon back your Flamberge from your Spell Trap zone. This Flamberge is gonna activate its effect to put IP Masquerena into the Spell Trap zone. Now with Promethean Princess and Snake Eye Oak, and this is very special, use Snake Eye Oak at this point, because he is the card we are willing to play to put into the Spell Trap zone with the Snake Eyes Jabal Star. We're gonna summon a random link, it can be Nightmare Phoenix, could be Hita, but let's use Nightmare Phoenix at this point. We're gonna use the Jabal Star Snake Eye effect, putting face up into your Spell Trap zone a copy of Snake Eye Oak, and with Jabal Star plus Nightmare Phoenix, we are going for Celine. Celine effect gain counters, Celine effect lose counters, and summons the Jabal Star Snake Eye. Here, we're gonna activate Kashira Birth, and by Birth effect, we can, for example, summon Unicorn and go for Apollousa. We could just go for Apollousa with the Snake Eye cards. Doesn't really matter. We just go for Apollousa here, and now we're gonna use both of them to make the Hope Harbinger, and both of this to make your Pit Knight early. And this is the end board you are achieving with this approach, because you can go for Divine Temple summons IP Masquerena, and then you can use the IP Masquerena to get a negate in your Pit Knight early, and then you can link them, or you can just go for the Promethean Princess to destroy the Pit Knight early. You can link Masquerena with your Flamberge. There's a lot of possibilities that you can get just by playing your Hope Harbinger. To respect a bit more Nibiru, what you can do with this hand. You can activate the Pressure Planet, that's gonna add Unicorn from your deck to your hand. Unicorn summons itself, adds Birth, then normal summons Snake Eye Ash effect, adds Poplar effect, adds original Sinful Spoil instead of the field spell. Here, you're gonna link away your Poplar and your Unicorn to summon IP Masquerena, and this is gonna trigger your Poplar effect, putting itself into the Spell Trap zone, and then you activate Birth to summon back your Unicorn. At this point, you're gonna just link them away to make a 3 counters Apollousa. Now, you can try to go for your original Sinful Spoil, pitching Poplar, that's gonna summon Oak, and Oak effect is gonna summon from your deck your copy, from your graveyard, your copy of Snake Eye Ash. Snake Eye Ash effect, pitching itself and the field spell from the Kashira, or the Birth maybe, you can just summon your Flamberge. Flamberge effect is gonna put your IP Masquerena into your Spell Trap zone, and you're gonna link these two into any link two. Any link two can be this Nightmare Phoenix, can be Hita. You just need to make them away of your field, and then that's gonna trigger your Flamberge. That's gonna summon 2 back from your graveyard. This is gonna turn them into a Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess effect activates, summons back your Flamberge, and then you can, for example, link these two into a Pit Knight. And then you have the Flamberge effect to summon back your IP Masquerena, you have your Pit Knight to negate anything, and this is a line that is very, very safe against Nibiru, because if your opponent tries to Nibiru you before you go for Apollousa, you can just activate your original Sinful Spoil and proceed for full combo. Right now, it's very, very risky. It's like a combo that you can just make if you are 100% sure your opponent's not playing any kind of hand traps, because if you get interrupted on the right spot, you are just gonna lose. Let's pretend you start with Special Summon Fenrir, and the Fenrir adds Unicorn from your deck to your hand. Then we can go for the Jabal Star pitching Unicorn, and setting the original Sinful Spoil. At this point, if you are playing against a regular play, what you can just do? You can just go for original Sinful Spoil pitching Jabal Star, and keep the Fenrir there, because if you get interrupted with Ash Blossom, or maybe with a Ghost Mourner targeting your Snake Eye Ash, you still have your Fenrir. But let's pretend you wanna go for the most risky play, but is high risk, high reward. We're gonna use this two into a Dracosac. This Dracosac effect is gonna pitch a Fenrir to summon back 2 tokens, and here is the catch. We're gonna use the original Sinful Spoil, pitching the Dracosac. And that's where the things get risky, because if you get interrupted there, you are so cooked. And then Snake Eye Ash, Poplar, Field Spell, summon Snake Eye Ash effects, send them both, summon Oak, summon back Snake Eye Ash, Oak effects, send them on Poplar, summon Flamberge, Poplar effect puts face up into your spell trap zone your copy of Jabal Star Snake Eye, and then both tokens turns into IP Masquerena, and and the IP Masquerena plus Flamberge summons Promethean Princess. Now you're gonna use the Flamberge effect, summoning back these two bad boys, and here we can go for the Promethean Princess, summoning your Flamberge. Now we can just link them for any random link 2, like Nightmare Phoenix for example, and we go for the Jabal Star effect, summons itself, put into your spell trap zone your copy of Snake Eye Oak. We can use the Flamberge effect to put the IP into the spell trap zone, of course, don't forget to do so. And here, for example, we can just go for a Celine, with the Jabal Star. We go for a Celine, we get the counters, we lose the counters, summon back the Jabal Star. We go for a Apollousa using the Snake Eye Ash. We have 2 counters Apollousa. We can link these two. We can use these two into a Hope Harbinger, and the Poplar on field will be your fire in the case we wanna go for the Promethean Princess. And even if your opponent normal summons like anything and tries to attack over your Poplar, it's very important to say that the Hope Harbinger has an effect to take the attack. So if they are trying to attack here, you can use the Hope Harbinger effect and redirect the attack to them. So that's why your Poplar is protected. And by that, you're also having your Divine Temple to summon your IP Masquerena, and the IP Masquerena can promptly go and link them out for a Speeder Knight, for example, or for cards like that. There is nothing like really scary about this board, but this is a very interesting line, because this is a line where you can end on the Hope Harbinger with the Apollousa, but it's high risk and high reward, because if you open just Fenrir and just do your regular witch stuff here, which without taking out the Fenrir, you have your full board plus Fenrir in your field, but there is no access to the number 38. So it's up to you to evaluate if the situation is a very good moment to play the Hope Harbinger. And a good situation to go for the Hope Harbinger line is if you are playing against a board breaker approach. That is a fair way to take these matchups. Your open hand is consisted of Snake Eye Oak and Bonfire. There is a very interesting line that you can go. You can activate this Bonfire, and if you search for a Snake Eye Ash and normal summon the Snake Eye Ash, you are going to lose if your opponent has Impermanence or Effect Failure. So what you can do here? You can start with Bonfire, and this Bonfire is gonna add from your deck to your hand a copy of Poplar. You're gonna special summon this Poplar Divine Temple, and then let's pretend they don't have any hand traps, and then I can show you how they would hand trap you in this case. We're gonna activate the Divine Temple, that's gonna put face up a Jabal Star Snake Eye, and we're gonna go here for a Relinquished Anima. This Relinquished Anima will not trigger the Poplar effect. We're not gonna use the Poplar effect right now, because we are gonna normal summon the Snake Eye Oak, and the Snake Eye Oak are going to summon the Snake Eye Poplar. Here, Snake Eye Oak effect, pitching itself plus the Snake Eye Jabal Star, summoning the Snake Eye Ash. And then here, we can go for the Snake Eye Ash effect and add another copy of Snake Eye Ash to your hand as a follow-up. Here, Snake Eye Ash effect sends itself plus Anima, and that's gonna summon from your deck a copy of Flamberge. You can link them both to go for IP Masquerena, and we can do Flamberge Chainlink 1 and Poplar Chainlink 2. Poplar putting into your spell trap zone a copy of Jabal Star Snake Eye, and Flamberge summoning back from your graveyard 2 of your level 1 monsters. Here we can go for the Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess effect is gonna summon from your graveyard a copy of Flamberge, and Flamberge effect is gonna put face up into your spell trap zone a copy of IP Masquerena. We can go for the Jabal Star here, putting Oak in your spell trap zone, and then you go just link these two into any random link 2. You go for the Celine, and the Celine then will be able to make your Apollousa. This is a very interesting line, because this is a better line into hand traps. And let's show you guys how your opponent should hand trap you at this point. Stupid. If you start with Bonfire and add Snake Eye Poplar to your hand, he's not gonna interrupt you with Impermanence or Effect Failure on the Poplar effect, because if the Bonfire was your only way to play, you would probably add the Snake Eye Ash and they would just interrupt the Snake Eye Ash. So they are probably going to hold their interaction to the way to play that you have, in this case being the Snake Eye Oak. Then, when you normal summon Snake Eye Oak and use the effect targeting the Poplar, they are going to spend the Impermanence or the Effect Failure. But there is no problem, because now we are going for the Jabal Star, and this Jabal Star is going to put back the Poplar into the spell trap zone, and we're going to link this tree into a copy of the Promethean Princess. And this Promethean Princess will bring back from your graveyard your copy of Snake Eye Oak. And the Snake Eye Oak's effect is going to be used, sending itself plus Poplar to summon Flamberge. The Flamberge will activate the effect here to put into your spell trap zone your copy of Jabelstar Snake Eyes as a follow-up, because now your Promethean Princess and your Flamberge are gonna be used to make a hit. And now the Flamberge is gonna summon back your Poplar and your Snake Eye Oak. And here is the interesting thing. You can use, for example, them to go for Appaloosa, but I think it's more worth right now to just link them two into a IP Masquerena and use the Poplar effect to put into your spell trap zone your copy of Snake Eyes Flamberge, because as soon as your opponent summons anything, you can trigger your field spell to summon your Flamberge, and even though if they interrupt your field spell with Ghost Ogre, for example, you still have your Promethean Princess to destroy your hit and your opponent card, and you still have your Masquerena to make your link plays, and that's a very interesting way to play this around an interaction. Okay guys, so now we are going for a different section of this video, where we are gonna make the plays while getting hand trapped. On this case, your open hand is Snake Eye Ash and Bonfire, and your opponent has Impermanence or Effect Valor to negate your normal summon. Let's start with normal summon Snake Eye Ash, which your opponent will promptly negate with the Impermanence or Effect Valor they have. So now we activate Bonfire. Bonfire is gonna add from your deck to your hand Poplar. Poplar is gonna summon itself, and Poplar is gonna add Divine Tempo. Divine Tempo is gonna put face up a copy of Jabelstar Snake Eye, and then we're gonna link these two into a Pit Knight early. At this point, this Jabelstar Snake Eye is gonna summon itself, putting back your Poplar into your spell trap zone, and you're gonna link these two into your Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess is gonna activate this effect, summoning back the Snake Eye Ash, and the Snake Eye Ash effect pitching itself plus Poplar to summon a Flamberge from your deck. This Flamberge is gonna activate the effect, put into your spell trap zone a copy of Pit Knight early, and we're gonna link these two into your Raging Phoenix. Your Flamberge is gonna activate the effect right now, summon themselves back from your extra deck, and here we're gonna use your Salamangreat Raging Phoenix to summon a Zelantis. Zelantis effect is gonna summon themselves back to this specific zone, because now we're gonna link these two into IP Masquerena, and we're gonna use the Poplar effect to put into your spell trap zone a copy of Flamberge. You could have done this combo differently, like you could have like this, and this is better because if they interrupt your field spell, you still have a fire for your Promethean Princess. But this combo is also very interesting because you can summon your Flamberge, and the Flamberge summons your Pit Knight early. But that's basically how you are supposed to play if you are willing to play against Impermanence, with your opening hand being Snake Eye Ash and Bonfire. This is the line I think that's more optimal to play, and I still think this line is very, very interesting because in many cases you can just get into this field or maybe into this field, for example, or you can do something like this and then you summon your IP Masquerena. That's a lot of possibilities that you can get, and it's more about what are you trying to play around. Like if you go for the Masquerena here, it's more strong play if you are ignoring Cosmic Cyclones or Ghost Ogres, but that's all up to you. This is your combo of just one Snake Eye Ash trying to achieve you a board of Appaloosa and Flamberge and IP Masquerena in your spell trap zone. But what if you get Nibiru at this point? There is just only one card that can save you, and that card is Link Spider. But I'm not playing Link Spider because if you are doing the line of Snake Eye Ash to go for Appaloosa and IP Masquerena with Flamberge, it's because you took a risk to ignore Nibiru. You are not trying to play around Nibiru. Because if you're willing to play around Nibiru, you could just have gone for the Snake Eye Oak in the Spell Trap Zone line. So you are just going to do this line if you are 100% sure your opponent doesn't have a Nibiru. If you are going to take this route and taking the risk that your opponent can just like Nibiru you and win the game, that's more about like a skill issue. But I still think it's fair to show why you could play the Link Spider, even though I'm not playing, because if I kinda know my opponent can have Nibiru, or if I don't know which are the hand traps my opponent are playing, I'm never doing this line. But okay, we get Nibiru at this point trying to get the Appaloosa board. They are going to summon a token to us, and here we're gonna use your Jabelstar Snake Eye, and this Jabelstar Snake Eyes can put back into your spell trap zone, basically Flamberge or Snake Eye Oak. But let's do the Snake Eye Oak. Now we are going for the Link Spider, and then we're gonna use your the Jabelstar and the Link Spider to make a Spiller Knight and banish Nibiru. And by that, we still have the Spiller Knight interaction, we have the Snake Eye Oak follow-up, and we still have 4 cards in hand from our open hand to try to interrupt your opponent. But honestly, is what I said, like, if we are going to do the Snake Eye Ash line to go for the full board is because we are ignoring Nibiru. If we take in Nibiru in this line, it's more about you choose wrong the line to do. And if you choose wrong the line to do, I don't think it's necessary to play Link Spider. If you are playing well, if you know well what you are doing, you are never gonna do the wrong decision. So that's why I don't think it's worth to play Link Spider on this deck. If you wanna play against Nibiru and your open hand is Pressure Planet and the Jabal Star, that's what you're gonna do. We're gonna start with the Pressure Planet, Unicorn, Birth, Normal Summon, Set Original Sinful Spoil. This is all the basic combo we already showed up on this video. But when you use the Birth to reborn the Unicorn and use the tokens to summon a IP Masquerena, your opponent's going to Nibiru you right now. So you're gonna tribute everything and have a very fat token in your field. So now we're gonna use your original Sinful Spoil pitching your Pressure Planet. That's gonna summon Snake Eye Ash. Snake Eye Ash effect adds Poplar. Poplar effect adds itself and activate Divine Temple. Divine Temple is gonna put face up a copy of Jabal Star Snake Eye, and we're gonna use the Snake Eye Ash effect, pitching itself plus the Jabal Star Snake Eye to summon Oak. Oak effect summons back Snake Eye Ash, and Oak effect sends itself plus the Kashira Birth to summon a copy of Flamberge. Here we're gonna link the token and the Nightmare, the Poplar to summon any random link to. You can like make Hita, you can make Phoenix. It's just because the token is a non-effect monster, so there is like nothing much to do with it. In this case, let's pretend we just made a Nightmare Phoenix. We just do that because we need to get rid of the token before we go for the next play. We're gonna make a Promethean Princess, and this is gonna trigger your Flamberge to summon 2 back from your graveyard. The Promethean Princess is gonna summon a Flamberge. Flamberge is gonna put into your Spell Trap Zone a copy of IP Masquerena, and here we're gonna link these two into a Raging Phoenix. The Poplar effect is gonna activate, and probably should have activated before, but the Poplar is just gonna put a Snake Eye Jabal Star face up into your Spell Trap Zone. Now we're gonna make a Zelantis, and this Zelantis effect will be activated right now to summon them back and to take out the Nibiru and summon back the Nibiru from your opponent field to your opponent field. Now your Promethean Princess is going to activate, and you're gonna destroy your Snake Eye Oak and the opponent Nibiru. By now your Raging Phoenix is going to activate, and you can link your Promethean Princess and your Raging Phoenix into any link to fire just to take out your fire lock from Promethean Princess from your graveyard, from your field. You can go for Hita or for Pit Knight. Let's pretend we made a Pit Knight here. Now what we can do is use the Jabal Star effect, summon itself, and you can put the Snake Eye Oak or you can put just like a random Nightmare Phoenix. Doesn't really matter. It's more about like what you wanna do with this field. But let's pretend we just put the Snake Eye Oak. Now we're gonna use all these 3 monsters into a Appaloosa, and we could have some of them like this way, because now we'll have the field spell to summon one, and we have the Flamberge to summon another one, and this is a very, very good line. Another thing, instead of doing the Snake Eye Oak, we can just put the Nightmare Phoenix here, and when you use the Nightmare Phoenix to summon it, the field spell to summon the Nightmare Phoenix, all the co-linked monsters are now protected by Battle Phase, so your opponent cannot out any of them by trying to destroy them, and then you can just like summon Masquerena, go for your link plays, you're having your Promethean Princess. This is a very good way to play around Nibiru. Sometimes you don't need to do a lot to do well. Let's pretend your opponent has an Infinity Impermanence against your Jabal Star plus Pressure Planet line. We're gonna start with the Pressure Planet, and we can add Unicorn. Unicorn effect can add from your deck to your hand a copy of Kashira Birth, and then we normal summon the Jabal Star, and your opponent interrupt you on the Jabal Star. If they interrupt you with Infinity Impermanence, it's way better for them. But if they interrupt you with Effect Veiler, we are gonna look into your extra deck and we're gonna take out a card from there. From now on, there is nothing much we can do. Like, there is no way to connect your play, the Snake Eye play, by this. But if you just go in a simple way to play, and we go for IP Masquerena, and then we do the Birth effect to summon back the Unicorn, this is gonna be taking out a card from your opponent extra deck, and IP Masquerena to do SP Little Knight. And besides that, you can also have the Birth Banished Tree from your opponent's graveyard. And this is a play that's very, very important, because in many lines where you're getting hand trapped, this line is more safe into more hand traps. For example, this is a very safe line. If your opponent starts by using the Effect Veiler. Because if they have Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence, they are like in 100% of times starting by the Infinite Impermanence card. So if they use Effect Veiler, you are 100% sure they don't have another Impermanence in hand. So if they go in for this, you can play around Nibiru, and this also plays around, for example, another ways of interrupt, like another Effect Veiler. And this is also valid if you have the Snake Eye Ash instead of the Jebel Star. Because if you go for the Promethean Princess and he has another copy of Effect Veiler or cards like this, you are gonna lose everything you just built. Like, you are gonna basically lose all your interactions that you could possibly have. And this is a very, very interesting line, because if you rip your opponent's extra deck twice with Unicorn, you are probably going to take out many of their important cards, and you are probably not going to die. And if you are not going to die, you have more turns too. Having Birth getting you more follow-up. For example, let's pretend we made a Spilero Knight to banish one card, and a Spilero Knight to banish another, and then when the Spilero Knight comes back, we're gonna have another draw that can be something playable, like Snake Eye Ash, but you also gonna have the Snake Eye Birth, the Kashira Birth card to reborn your Unicorn. And then this is already a very, very aggressive play. Because if your opponent has a Jabal Star on their graveyard, for example, you can just go for the Dark, and then you can like do a lot of plays just by that. So it's very, very important to you to get into the state of the game you are and think, okay, there is any reason to go further than this? There is any reason to do a Promethean Princess right there, or am I gonna lose the game? And this is especially more true if you have more hand traps in your hand. If you have an Nibiru in your hand, for example, and you stop by this is like most likely impossible to your opponent to kill you. But if you go for the Promethean Princess line, because instead of the Jabal Star you had a Snake Eye Ash, and they interrupt your Promethean Princess, there is nothing much else to do, because then your Nibiru is also gonna not be able to activate, and you are probably going to lose this game. So it's very, very important to evaluate the state of the game you are playing, and by that, taking the better decision. Okay, so let's keep up with the what if you get hand trapped lines, and I think this is gonna be a very interesting one. If your opponent has Infinite Impermanence against your Field Spell and your Snake Eye Ash hand. We're gonna start with the Field Spell. Field Spell is gonna add from your deck to your hand a copy of Unicorn. Unicorn is gonna add a Birth from your deck to your hand. And then you're gonna normal summon Snake Eye Ash, and your opponent's gonna use Infinite Impermanence on the Snake Eye Ash. You can just link these two into any random link 2, like Midnight earlier. And then you use Birth. Birth summons back your Unicorn. And you can go here for a Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess effect is gonna summon back your Snake Eye Ash. And Snake Eye Ash effect is gonna send itself plus the Pressured Planet to summon from your deck a Snake Eyes monsters. At this point you can summon your Poplar, or you can summon your Snake Eye Oak. They are both valid options, but I think the Poplar line is more aggressive. We're gonna add Poplar from your deck to your hand, and Poplar is gonna add a copy of original Sinful Spoils. Here, we're gonna activate the original Sinful Spoils, pitching your Kashira Birth, and that's gonna summon you as Snake Eye Oak. The Snake Eye Oak effect is gonna add from your deck to your hand, summon from your graveyard a copy of Snake Eye Ash, and then here you can go for the Snake Eye Oak effect, that's gonna send them both to the graveyard, summons you a Flamberge, and the Flamberge effect is gonna put into your spell trap zone your Midnight early. And here with the Snake Eye Ash and Snake Eye Poplar, you can make IP Masquerena. This is a more conservative line, and this is a line that guarantees you that you're gonna pass with your Flamberge in your spell. Because if you get interrupted on the Snake Eye Ash, the other lines are also kinda decent, but since you already have spent your Promethean Princess, I don't think there is like any really, really good line to get. So by this, you can just go for your Flamberge summons your Midnight, and your IP Masquerena can activate the effect, and the Midnight can be a negate. You can also just use the Masquerena and like don't use the Midnight effect, go for the Little Knight, and then you can Little Knight banish a card, you can Flamberge summon 2 back, and then when the Little Knight activates the effect to banish 2 cards, you can chain the Midnight to make a negate. I think that's a very interesting line, and a way to play around your opponent cards. Because even though, if you have, like for example, let's return for the spot where instead of making the IP Masquerena, you just want to link away the Flamberge. You can link away the Flamberge and go, for example, for a Hita line, and then this Hita can summon, the Flamberge effect is gonna summon 2 back from your graveyard. But this is like just not enough in many of cases, because Okay, you can go for a Appaloosa, or you can try to set up IP Masquerena if you have a spellcaster already. I just don't feel it's good enough. I feel like your play with IP Masquerena, Midnight Early, and a Flamberge is most of cases good enough to beat your opponent under hand traps. This last combo may sound stupid, but what if your opponent holds the Ash Blossom for the effect of Snake Eye Ash to send? How could you proceed here? We're gonna normal summon Snake Eye Ash, your opponent is gonna say okay, I'm gonna add Poplar from your deck to your hand, and the Poplar effect is gonna add from your deck to your hand a copy of Divine Temple. Here, your Divine Temple is gonna be activated, and this Divine Temple is gonna put face up, of course, the best card of this game, the Snake Eye Jabal Star. So now we can use the Snake Eye Ash effect, sending itself plus the Jabal Star, and they Ash Blossom us. Oh my god, this is so bad, no, okay. But now, since we have the Snake Eye Jabal Star, there is now a line that can also play well around this Ash Blossom. We can go just for a Relinquished Anima. The Relinquished Anima is gonna let our Poplar go to the graveyard, and the Poplar is gonna put face up into your Spell Trap zone a copy of Jabal Star Snake Eye. And then we can go for the Jabal Star Snake Eye, summoning itself back by putting the Poplar into your Spell Trap zone, or the Snake Eye Ash into your Spell Trap zone. Here, if we have another extender, we could, for example, go for Hita, take the Ash Blossom, and go for Appaloosa, if we have another spell in your graveyard. But maybe, sometimes, you just go for SP Little Knight, and that should be enough.